So in the case of black Hebrew Israelites coming and their relational, not all of them, but most of the people that had written about Israelites in the past, that is African American Israelites, or what I call black Israelites, they mostly were Ashkenazi Jews like myself. They mostly were Ashkenazi Jews like myself. They mostly were Ashkenazi Jews like myself, but most of them did not have any special training in black history. Okay? And so for them, the question was about, well, why would black people who are already disadvantaged want to be Jews and face further disadvantage? So just the whole paradigm there was about disadvantage. And also, I think it was asking a question that wasn't historically informed, or wasn't really the right question to be asking. It was essentially blackness seen as a problem combined with Jewishness also seen as a problem. So what I wanted to do was situate the Hebrew Israelite or black Israelite movements within this larger historical context. And when you do that, what you discover is that the holiness movement was one space in which African Americans were able to reimagine their sacred destiny, self-definition, and communal purpose. So my central character of the first 3 chapters is Bishop William Saunders Crowdy. Crowdy, this is a way of answering the larger question. So Crowdy is born into slavery in Maryland, frees himself in 1863. He's a cook in all these records. Then he settles in Kansas City and then moves to Oklahoma, which at the time there was an effort to make Oklahoma into an all-black town, an all-black state. It was there that he had his revelation, and a key part of his teaching was that the ancient Israelites were black. And a key part of his teaching was that the ancient Israelites were black. That is what people start in, that's why people, white people, black people, and native people start to emulate the practices of the Hebrew Bible, to be chosen people, to choose chosenness, to choose chosenness.
To choose chosen.
See with Rabbi Wentworth. Now, if Rabbi Wentworth, the late, great Rabbi Wentworth, was alive today, I would ask Rabbi Wentworth a question. Would you attack your elder? But this is the great Rabbi Wentworth, by the way. Here I'm sitting down, this is the 1930s, 40s, whatever that is, 50s. I would ask, look at this on there, I would ask the elder, who is this woman on your arm? Who is that right there? Who is this? And big up to James Brown for giving me this. This is Jake Spatelovich, ladies and gentlemen. He was funded by the Rothschilds, right, to find Africans to validate Zionist false claims of actual history. Wow! Is this true, Garfield? Now check out this newspaper from 1930 about when Rabbi Matthews decided to be a rabbi. Guess why he decided to do it? Let's read it together. In the meanwhile, Professor Jacob Spatelovich of Union Hebrew College, that's the guy that showed you a while ago, who worked for the Rothschilds, who was making an exploratory trip in Ethiopia, studying the various races and their ethnical backgrounds, came back in 1929 and reported that the Falashas of Ethiopia originated from the stock of Israel and were Ethiopian Hebrews. That was enough for the then Reverend Matthews. He embraced the Hebrew faith and in 1930 received his rabbinate and became Rabbi Matthews. He changed the name of the church to the Ethiopian Hebrew Congregation of the Living God. Whoa! Now, ask yourself this question. Now, Rabbi, if you are alive today, I'm asking you respectfully, why would you need to get confirmation from an imposter Jew to actually become a Jew? Why? And why would you work with somebody who is working with who? The Rothschild family. Rabbi, I got a concern with that. That's what I would ask him respectfully. I wouldn't disrespect him, but I'm asking respectfully. Now, this guy, Spatelovich, if you don't believe me, just Google his name. He was born in Poland in 1881 and visited Ethiopia for the first time in 1904. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. He received a grant from who? Baron Edmund Rothschild to look for black Jews. Newspapers reported at the time the European scholar who had studied at the school for Oriental language at the Sorbonne in Paris astounded the Ethiopian emperor Menelik II with his fluent command of the country's language. No disrespect. I'm just curious, Rabbi Wentworth. Peace be unto you, brother.
Okay, hey guys, I presented you the information, and so let's sum this thing up. So this showed you that that the Hebrew Israelite movement has roots to the Illuminati, has roots to Zionism, and to the Rothschild family, which is a Illuminati bloodline. And I presented to you that has roots to Freemasonry, to even gave a name Prince Albert under Black Freemasonry. And then Lewis verified that. He didn't really object to that. He even showed a picture of a black Jesus with the sun behind it, and said Jesus was a Freemason. So he's been a good supporter of this doctrine. So basically, so he addressed that in the 1960s, a group called One West basically taught, and basically these groups, the sects that go back to the ancient teaching, they true to the teachings of the past, teach occultic doctrines such as the Incarnation, the Anunnaki, stuff like that. So they taught occultic doctrine to fit their pride. So these groups, this group called the One West, whether they were Luciferians, that came out and basically taught this doctrine to get people it really exposed it when you look into it. It gets you demonized, and it also fits with healthy insecurity, healthy pride. Because the biblical case of this has been addressed, and how much of it has been refuted. So basically, only thing left is a spirit of pride. Because, listen guys, just because the people talking to you guys, just because you people have been degraded and oppressed and abused, this is all you're holding on to. You take on this identity not to glorify God, but for a humanistic purpose, to make you feel better about yourself, and to justify your hatred under the authority of Scripture against the white man, and your motives and intents, and your arrogance and your pride about yourself. This wasn't for the glorification of God. So they targeted these people. The Illuminati did. The Luciferians. This is just able to just target them and bring these people down. Because notice, when people get under this kind of doctrine and they get little embedded into it, it's hard to get them out, because now God put them under a delusion, and you can't even lift that thing. So now it takes some prayer to get these people out, or it takes God selecting them to get them out. So your biblical case has been refuted. There has been, if we take the summary of the New Testament and Old Testament Scripture, the Hebrew Israelite movement is done, and basically they take. Now, I'm not going to get the identity, because there is brownish, dark colored skin Jews, and it was shown through the DNA test on that one African tribe. But the doctrine is a trap. The doctrine is demonic. So if you can prove your identity but fraud all your doctrine about you being in charge of God by physical Israelite slavery, the God hating the Gentiles, not saving the Gentiles, us being inferior to you in the sense that we're going to be your slaves and we got to bow down to you, and not just restoration of love and just Christ-likeness one to another, then if you throw your doctrine out, leave your identity, if you can prove your identity, then that's fine. Just don't make it a pride thing. Okay, maybe you can battle with pride and know you're a Jew. I battle with pride daily. But you gotta resist your pride and not take on the identity of being proud. Fight it. So, so if you know your doctrine and your identity, if you can prove your identity, you're fine. So, but just because you can spot in history black Jews or black Israelites, and then you attach yourself to it, I don't deny that the dark-skinned Israelites, but you got to prove you're one of them. And being an Israelite, once again, the Israelites are not a chosen people. They are just a selected people used to symbolize God's to show God's cursings and blessings upon the obedience and disobedience and so on of His people, and to be an example and to show forth righteousness and justice upon the heathen nations. To be an example. You're not a chosen people. You're not chosen for heaven. You're just selected for works on this earth. You're not. So don't think. Quit. So you're not some. So don't be so prideful, because the Bible didn't teach you're chosen. In a heavenly sense, you're not. In an earthly sense, you're selected if you're an Israelite. So be blessed, guys. I love you guys. And basically, if you actually want the truth, my playlist on my channel, Hebrew Israelitism Debunked, and this video, and in the teachings I do, and about the gospel and salvation. If you want the truth, watch the videos and get born again. If you don't want to, you're gonna find out on Judgment Day that this was just a fraud to soothe your conscience, or to soothe your pride, to soothe you, to make you feel good for a time being, and then to perish on Judgment Day. Because you're not a child of God. Your fruits show forth you're a devil. Okay, you're a child of the devil. Just like any person my skin color. That is just full of hate and pride, and that is just a religious sinner. So be blessed, guys. I love you guys in the name of Jesus Christ. Bye.